We gotta run. I'm kind of just thinking, well, what do I do now? I'm telling you, they will rinse you. Aren't people just disgusting? Ooh.
They literally gave it to me.
So I'm just getting prepared to actually hand back a HMO this week, and this is how late the landlord and agent are leaving it. So we're the 15th of August, and the tenancy ends on the 21st of August. That's essentially when I'm handing this property back, okay? They're still doing viewings for this property, about 3 a week. I appreciate the landlord might want more in rent because he's asked me to increase it, but the profit margins is just not worth increasing. So I'm not sure what the agent has promised the landlord, but they haven't secured tenants. So I move out on the 21st essentially, and then it's going to sit empty until they find tenants because they're still doing viewings. Let's say 1 month of that property sat empty. That's £2,200 that I could have paid. Divide that by 12, it's about £183 per month. So if they just kept me as a tenant, I mean, to leave it this late is just insane in my mind. That surely the landlord is panicking, or whether the agent is reassuring them like, we've got 20 viewings lined up, but they've been doing viewings for months now, and now we're 3-4 days before I hand back the property. If I was a landlord, I'd be in sheer panic mode that my property that makes me £2,200 revenue every month is now going to sit empty. So going down to the property, I'll have a chat with the agent to see what they want to do. Do they want to renew, or should I continue and empty and leave this property? So, but yeah, they really are leaving it last minute. But let's I'm just preparing right now what I need to take down there to empty this property and get it handed over to the cleaners to do end of tenancy clean. So I'm going to document everything and show you guys exactly how to strip down a HMO. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do to strip down a HMO and hand it back to agents. So it always helps just to mind dump, like what do you actually need? Get it all down on paper, you know. I do have a process I follow, but essentially you're gonna need some tools to help take screws out of the wall, mirrors off the wall, lockbox, you know, so you're gonna need a drill, impact driver, make life easier, okay? You're also going to need tough cleaning stuff. Yes, you're gonna have a cleaner come in and do end of tenancy clean, but something that's really bad, okay, you could still get your cleaner to do it, but it's best just to take cleaning stuff anyway, such as tile grout on the bathroom. How tough is that? You know, so, and a stiff wire brush to really get that grout clean, okay? You're gonna need your own pillow and duvet and sheet, because no doubt you will be staying down there to get it done, okay? And then also what you're going to need to do is check the inventory and the contract. So do that ahead. Make sure the baseline condition of the property, you're handing it back in better condition, okay? And obviously any furniture that you've removed, you need to replace it. Anything that you've installed needs to be removed because the agent will charge you for removing that. And contract, just check the contract for anything on termination and ending the contract. Are there any special things that you need to do that you agreed in the contract? So always best to check the contract. But that's essentially all you need to do, is go in, remove everything that is yours, put back to baseline and better condition, take pictures of you finishing it, and literally as you're leaving the property, take the meter readings. Literally that is the last thing you do. You take the meter readings and then you shut the door and lock it. That's it, we're loaded up. Ladder, taking down lamps, checking meter readings because the meter is really high. Buckets for anything rubbish wise, black bags, drills, good cleaning stuff, camera equipment, paint rollers, tools, yeah, just stuff. Just have a look at the list. But this property's 3 hours away, and no doubt I'll forget something handy, but that should see me pretty good. If I have to make another trip, then so be it. So let me tell you a bit about this property, okay? So it's a 5-bed, 2-bathroom, downstairs shower in one of the bathrooms. Upstairs just had a bath, so straight away I'm thinking there's only one shower, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to install a shower. So I did install a shower, but prior to that I was like, okay, cool, the place is a tip. So yeah, there was like weird things all over the walls, like markings, so all of the walls had to be repainted multiple times to cover these kind of blue tack stains. The place was a dump, absolute dump when I took it on. The kitchen is absolutely tiny, like very, very small. If you rented like a 1-bed flat, this is kind of the size of the kitchen. And I'm like, for 5 tenants. Okay, 5 tenants, 3 of the rooms were singles as well. 2 large doubles, but 3 okay-ish singles. So straight away I'm thinking, okay, the negatives are piling up now. We've got a tiny kitchen, we've only got one shower, we've got 3 singles, the place is an absolute dump, right? So a lot of people would have looked at all of these negatives piling up and thought, I'm not going to take this property on, or made an offer which was low enough to profit a good amount to make it worth it. Because I was looking at scaling my business, I went for £700 cash flow. You know, £700, bang on the money, £700, and that was my offer. I didn't go back and forth negotiating an amazing deal. I just went straight in with my first and last offer. And this is what I teach my mentees as well. You know, if you want to grow your portfolio quickly, or you're just trying to get your first property, just get on the ladder. Just get on the rent-to-rent ladder and go in with your first and last offer. Don't try and get creative, because you're up against people like me, you know, who have got the experience, and they're making similar offers to you as a newbie. So as a newbie, you should be going straight in with your first and last. That's my kind of approach to it anyway, especially if you're dealing with an agent that has multiple company lets on their books. So anyway, the property was a dump, it was tiny, great location, so that had that going for it, and that's about it really. It was a lot of work to be done, but nothing too major. Just when you're viewing the property, it kind of looks scary because students are extremely messy, and there was clothes all over the wall, curtain rails hanging off, like they all shut the curtain, so it's like dark, dingy, clothes everywhere. It's just a mess. And then obviously the one shower, tiny kitchen, which was also a mess. The property was just needed a lot of looking after. The garden was completely overgrown. So, okay, that was a condition of me taking it on. And obviously now I'm on my way down there to strip it all down, which I get a bit sad about, because you put a lot of that time and effort into finding these deals. And now the tenancy agreement has come to an end. And there are properties everywhere, and when you're in property, all you do is look. You just constantly look. So there was a to let sign, right? And we're 2 weeks before the new student market, so clearly it's not been let. We're 2 weeks left. So that property right now is with an estate agent, okay, not been let, and we've got 2 weeks left. So yeah, I'd be straight on the phones. There's another one to let. There's just, in Brighton, there's properties absolutely everywhere. Just absolutely everywhere. And yeah, all you gotta do is pick up the phone, see if they're open to an offer from a company let. Done. So here's the gaff here, look, covered in scaffolding because the fascia at the top is being replaced. So yeah, here it is. This is the HMO that I'm due to strip down. So as always, thank you very much. Okay, so let's take a look around. This is mainly all of my stuff that I brought with me. Pretty standard how I left it in there, to be honest. So look in this bedroom, turn the light on. Yeah, pretty standard how I left it. You know, it's all a bit grubby in some places. But I'll have to look at the inventory to find out if it was like that when I took it on. If not, I would obviously need to get that fixed. Tiny kitchen. Not too bad. The tenants have done all the washing up. Brilliant. Here's the shower room. Okay. Oven looks clean. They've actually cleaned that. That's brilliant. Outside space. Yeah, needs a bit of tidying. Have a look upstairs. Pick up my coffee. Bathroom. Had a retile since we took it on. Yeah, okay, not great, but it's clean. I've seen worse, to be honest. I've done HMOs after tenants, and this room is brilliant. It's like the tenant never slept in here. You've obviously done a very thorough job of cleaning it. If you didn't see the tenant showing us around when I inspected this house, click the link around here somewhere. This is Jorge's room. Left it exactly how he took it on, so thank you very much, Jorge. Next room. Okay, up the top, bedroom 4. Again, doesn't look like it needs much at all, just empty it and clean it. And then the final room. Walls are a bit grubby. I need to check the inventory and see if that's how it was when I took it on. Are there any new marks in the carpet? So yeah, what we need to do now is fire up the inventory and find out exactly how we took this property on, what is damaged now and what actually needs to be fixed. Okay, so now we've got the inventory up. All we do is go through here. So as you can see, like, this is why having an inventory is so important. You can see there's clearly marks on the carpet. So what we do, stand here. There is a new mark on the carpet. So we need to try and get that one out. And then they've taken a picture of the light for some reason. And you just compare. Stairs, there's no real clear damage on the stairs. Here, nothing there. Here, again, nothing there. And this is what you do. You just go through and make sure everything, as you can see, there's a mark there somewhere to the right hand of the radiator, and we painted the whole wall. I mean, it's still a bit grubby. I will touch that up. So I can't say whether it's better like that or like that. I mean, it's down to opinion. I think that is better, but it's still not good enough. So that's one thing we need to do. Again, we've done all of that. That's how it was before. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just go through the whole property and look for defects. This is a really good example, actually. That's how we took the property on. That's how we left it. As you can see, the carpet was quite bad condition anyway. So all we do, chuck a rug over it. There are the curtains that were in there, and we put in modern grey ones. As you can see, it was in great condition, and that is what has actually caused it to wear and tear anyway. So I will secure that back down, but if they do complain, then obviously it was worn in the first place. Right, we're in this bedroom now, so let's have a look in here. There was a piece of furniture there, and obviously that's been replaced by that, so I would say the landlord would be happier with that as opposed to that. The carpets were fairly exactly the same, I'd say. I was thinking, what are those marks in the ceiling? But again, they are right there. So that is the importance. Even stuff down to the very minor things. It's so important to have an inventory done. So we stuck in a desk, a bit better than that. I think that might have been a furniture print because it's now gone. Anyway, I'm gonna speed this up because it's a very boring process. Okay, so checking the inventory, the only thing that really stands out that needs to be repaired is those holes in the wall because the tenant probably put up a TV on the wall. That's it. Everything else is kind of all of the shoddy things that you see here on the wall. It's in the inventory. So that's that job done. Bit of a tiresome, repetitive, tedious job, but it's really important to just compare the whole property with what you originally took it on and what needs fixing before we start anything. Okay, let's get outside and tackle the gardens. Made a friend. What a gorgeous cat. But yeah, have a look. This is not ideal. Hello, mate. Hello. What you doing? What you doing? Gorgeous cat. Let's inspect this, shall we? It's quite overgrown. We've definitely got a fox den here, so I don't want to be disturbing that. Just prune it all back. Look after matey. Put it back to nice. So let's go. So there was about half a ton of soil on the patio caused by a fox den. There's one here, one there, And there's one in there. You see it? Down there. So, rock soil shift. Okay, so that's a bit better. Got to do a few tip runs tomorrow, but yeah, certainly a lot better. So just had a quick coffee break and I was just thinking, like, I can hear students and they've been moving in today, actually. So the student market starts the 1st of September. With this property, once I hand it back, there's no one after. They've been arranging viewings and the viewings are getting cancelled for a couple of months now. So there's no tenants lined up to take this place after I'm finished. Once it's done, once I'm out, that's it. There's no tenants lined up. So this baffles me because the landlord and estate agent are leaving it to the very, very last minute. If I was the landlord, I would honestly be at panic stations. Like, okay, Kenny is paying me $2,200 a month for this property. He moves out on the 21st of August, and then we have no one lined up to move in. What if you void for a month? That's 2,200. That's 180 something a month. From what I can remember, the landlord wants an extra £100, but my profit margins won't allow that. If I did, it would go below and become high risk. So it's not really something I can do. As much as I would love to keep this property because the tenants have been exceptional. It's been so passive, this place, but yeah. I'm just a bit confused. I would have thought by now, 4 days before the tenancy officially ends, that the landlord would be like, okay, let's renew for another year because clearly I'm not going to let this property. Or the estate agents are promising and reassuring the landlord that they will get it let in time, but this is to the wire. Okay, I've come to a bit of a halt because I need to do some tip runs because they've left their bedding and there's 5 beds. It's a lot of bedding. So my car is currently full of bedding, which I need to take to the recycling centre. So I can't start putting stuff in my car. So I think with the tip shut, they reopen tomorrow for a few hours. So that's the first thing in the car tomorrow is get straight to the tip, do tip runs, so then I can start loading stuff up. But I think what I need to do is bring everything that's dotted around that is mine and chuck into this room here. So it's all in one place. So after the tip run, I can then start loading everything from that bedroom into my car. So that's the plan. Let's do it. Okay, as you can see, pretty much everything that is like bedding kits and wall art, I have just brought all the way downstairs and just chucked into one of these bedrooms. So then when I do the tip run tomorrow, that's done, I can just come in this room and chuck everything in the car. So that is upstairs completely cleared now. So I'm gonna, I don't know actually, I might have a coffee, have another coffee. What I'm doing now is I'm just gonna have another look at the inventory just once more, just because you want to keep on checking this, really going back and forth, because every time you kind of see something, like, so I've seen a piece of furniture in the bathroom, I'm like, did I put that in? Check this out, really handy piece of furniture that you think, yeah, maybe I should leave that one there, you know, perfect for a bathroom, little unit. But I'm telling you now, if you leave something in the property that you're not meant to, they charge you about £40. Agents charge you about £40 just to remove it. So before I remove that and take it downstairs into that room, I just need to, is it in the inventory? Simple as that, really. So let's have a quick look. Have a look, find the bathroom. Okay, bathroom. The unit doesn't appear to be there. So as much as I might think it's a handy piece of thing to leave, it's not there, so it's got to go. Now, as you can see here in the inventory, they clearly, as I was moving in, cut all the shrubs down and chucked them in the back. So obviously I'm moving out, I've cut the shrubs back. It's like a time warp. But if I get time tomorrow, I'll chuck that in the truck and take it to the tip. So you can see that there was a table blocking this door. But that all rotted down, which is all of that. So if I don't get time to take it to the tip, I'm perfectly allowed to leave it like that because that's how I was given it. But as a goodwill gesture, I will try and take all of that to the tip, apart from the chairs, because they're fit for purpose. But we'll see. Okay, so let's have a time audit. I got here at 1 o'clock. It's now 10 to 7, so pretty much 6 hours. And what have we done? We've cleared all of the upstairs and brought everything down into one bedroom. All of the bedding, anything I'm taking to the tip is in the car, ready to go. Garden is back to spec, so I'm happy with that. Now, this is the last room to clear. As you can see, the tenants have done all the washing up. This is just a few odds and sods that need to be chucked by the looks of it and pack it all up. So let's get to it. The hardest thing around here is parking, because it's all permit parking in Brighton. So obviously I don't have a permit because I don't come here very often. So what I'm going to do is I've actually found a space just there. So I'm going to go get the car. What is the bet? By the time I come back, that space is gone. Just to ensure I do get my car parking space. We got to run. Here we go. Here we go then, just round here. Is that space still available? Is it? Yes, there it is. Beautiful. There we go. Not happy though. Curbed my wheels every time I come to Brighton. Curb bloody wheels. Okay, so that is everything from the house, including this room now. So this was kind of my dumping ground for all my tools, my camera equipment and stuff like that, my laptop. But everything is now in this room. So a lot of throws and pillows, wall art, bits and bobs. Everything is in here to load into the car. Still a bit pissed off that I've just curbed my wheel. Like my own fault for having such a big car, I suppose. But anyway, I'm kind of just thinking, well, what do I do now? I still need to move that, the thing that isn't in the inventory. So apart from waiting on the cleaners to kind of turn up to do the real deep clean, I'm just gonna have a quick wander around. I've got to take the screws out of the wall, fill those and paint over the screw holes. So that, I've got to repair this because that's broken, and obviously it's not broken in the inventory. Like honestly, everything comes down to checking that inventory. If you're handing a property back, I'm telling you, they will rinse you. The agents get contractors, and contractors cost a lot of money. I thought on my last rent to rent I handed back, I'd do the agent a favour and leave the lockbox on the front of the property, because all contractors go to the office to collect keys. So I thought, do you know what? I'll give them the code for the lockbox and I'll leave the lockbox on the property. They charged me 40 quid to remove it. And they wanted the lockbox code to get in so they could remove it. So yeah, take everything. Even if you think you're doing the agent a favour, don't. Just put it back to standard. So simple things like this, they have to be removed, filled and painted over. Otherwise, you'll be charged a fortune for simple jobs. So that's what I'm just doing now. I'm thinking about food. It's 7:30. Like, I think I'm pretty much done in terms of removing everything. Apart from the screw holes in the wall, like that wall is horrendous. But all of that is in the inventory. That's not changed. So I don't need to repair it. All of this, all of these kind of lining paper coming away from the ceiling, it's exactly how it is in the inventory. So as much as I'd love to repair it, you don't need to, all right? So just inventory. I know I keep going on about it, but if you're watching this video, this is all about how to hand back a rent-to-rent property, and this is exactly how to do it. So let's get some food. I'm thinking Chinese, Indian, I don't know. Let's have a look on Uber Eats and see what's going down. Actually, there's a kebab house just down the road, so let's go get a menu, because I'm feeling a lamb kebab, a massive extra large lamb kebab right now. That's what I'm hoping for. So last time I was here, there was a kebab house here. It looks like right there. That's a homemade burger bar. I'll get a menu, but I'm kind of got my heart set on a lamb kebab now. Tell you what, the burgers sound good, but I need to get on Uber Eats and find a lamb kebab. Dinner for one. Look at that. Lamb kebab with chicken. Doesn't take much for a man to be happy, does it? Good food, access to a gym, and just hustling, like working hard, building a business. Those three things is where I'm happiest. And obviously my children as well, love to bits. Gonna chow this down and then get back to work. That's it. That's me done for the day. 11 o'clock. Kind of just waiting to do the tip run. Then I can start loading the car and then really get an eye of what's left to do in the property. So yeah, that's it. See you guys in the morning. So I actually woke up at 5 o'clock to watch the main event of UFC. DDP versus Adesanya. Yeah, I love watching the UFC. I deem these guys like the pinnacles of champions, really. They just get in a cage and beat each other up. It takes massive courage, mental strength, discipline, like all of the attributes that would be fantastic in business. And these guys have it all, and they're fighters. So really respect these guys. So right now we are 6:30 in the morning. Got a lot of thinking to do. So let's go downstairs, let's get a coffee and think about how we're going to attack this day. Okay, priorities. Coffee. Cannot start the day without coffee. Task 1, I get a lot of messages per day, and if I don't respond, it actually sits heavy with my mind, thinking I've got to respond to all these people. So that's first task. Let's get this out of the way, respond to everybody that's messaged me, send. Then we can start writing together a plan. So just around the corner there was all of these bins for recycling, so chucked all of the kind of electrical appliances, like the little kettles, the toasters and stuff like that, in there for recycling. Look at this. Absolute mess. Aren't people just disgusting? So annoying. Such a beautiful city. You know, the council have gone above and beyond. There's 3 recycling centres in Brighton. They've put out extra bins to try and tackle it, and people just abuse it. It's just, it just comes down to what type of person you are, really, doesn't it? Okay, so the tip opens at 9, so we want to be as productive as possible before 9. Get everything loaded up, ready for 9 o'clock, because I've just read the recycling centre opening times and the reviews, and it gets very busy at the weekend, so we've got to get there about 9:05. So we've got an hour and a half before we need to leave. So I'm going to write down now exactly what we need to do in terms of today. Okay, so what do we actually need to do today? Pre-tip run. Let's find out what we need to do. So number 1, the drawers in the bedroom that are hanging off, I need to fix that, get that done. Remove the screws from the walls. Load up the car for the tip run. After the tip run, what do we need to do? Well, I think I need to get everything inside the property in the car, like all of the wall art, bedding kits, decorations, get it out of the property and into the car. Then we can truly assess what's left to do. So let's get to that stage and see what's left. So all we want to do is kind of tack a little bit of this CT1. CT1 is amazing. You can literally build a house with this stuff. It's so strong. So all I want to do is just put a little bit on each dowel. This is just cheap IKEA furniture. They're so known for it. Like all landlords, they all fall apart. I suppose it's just how to furnish it cheap. But every single one of my HMOs, the drawers come apart, fall apart. It's just annoying, frustrating. So yeah, this is the best way I've dealt with it. It's just tack it in place. And then obviously just put the dowels back in, line it up, and that should set off and be absolutely fine going forward. I've also just discovered every single screw that we put in the wall. At the time, I bought a pack of screws. Stupidly, I used these ones. Torque head ones. Don't know if you guys can see that. And obviously I don't have the bit, so I did have this little screwdriver which just about fits, but I had an impact driver to make my life easier. But obviously now I don't, so I've got to do it manually, all by hand. Oh no, poor me. So let's see how easy these come out. Brilliant, snap the screwdriver already. Okay, resorting to using pliers. See if this works. I mean, it will work, but we have probably 6 of these in each room. Yeah, this is just gonna take too long, so got to go to B&Q to get some paint anyway, so we'll grab a torque bit. So simple job, tick. Simple job. Right, let's get on and load the car. My little mate is back, look at this. Gorgeous cat. Oh. No, I'll leave you alone then. First you take a swipe at me, now you're coming in here. You're taking the mick a bit, mate. Go on. That's the car, fully loaded. ready for the tip run in 40 minutes. So pretty much done. There's a property looking quite clean from the outside. So yeah, until we've done the tip run, there's not much else we can do. So let's have another cup of coffee and then we'll go to the tip. So I'm doing this property all by myself, all apart from the professional cleaning, the end of tenancy clean. So just to showcase, so I can make a YouTube video, showcase exactly what is involved when it comes to a rent-to-rent property. How to set it up, how to strip it down, how to furnish the rooms, what problems you're gonna face, especially when coming to the end of a tenancy. So yeah, thought I'd get right down into the trenches. I love it. I set this property up. Now, you know, fast forward a few years, I'm stripping it down and showing you guys exactly all what is involved. So I've been staying here, it's the weekend. I want to share something quite interesting with you guys. And I wake up about 7 o'clock most mornings, right? And last night I went to bed about midnight. I set an alarm for 3 a.m. because I wanted to watch the UFC. Anyway, I woke up at 5:15 thinking, damn it, I've missed it. By the time I loaded Discovery Plus, opened the fight, literally Adesanya, the challenger, was just coming out of the tunnel, entering the ring. How perfect timing is that? It doesn't really get any more perfect timing than that. Couldn't write it. It's insane. That's how powerful your mind is. It's like something we really don't understand. Like when you set your mind to something and it's fully in there, your mind tells your body to do it. And yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Thought I would share it. All right. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, the tip run. I mean, I'm at the tip now. It's 7 minutes past 9 and I'm queuing. I'm in a queue already. So yeah, they said this place gets busy, so I'm glad I did read that. Let's get this car empty and then we can head to B&Q. Yeah, there we go. So here is the tip. What we've been longing to come to. Something quite refreshing about leaving the recycling centre. It's like, car is full of rubbish. And when you leave, you feel like clean. It's really weird. You get such a kind of weight off your shoulder feeling. And get this, the lads, I seen this and I was like, how can someone chuck that out? Look at this. Ah! So my boy would absolutely die. He's 3 years old. He cannot wait. He would love this. So I was like, is it all working? Checked it out, it's clean. So the lads gave it to me. They literally gave it to me. Oh, I can't wait to see my boy's face when he sees that. Okay, what we'll do now, it's 9:35. We'll head to B&Q and that's 5 minutes away. So we're gonna be 20 minutes early for B&Q opening times. And there's a Costa next door. Let's grab some breakfast. So today we are on track. Doesn't get much better than this. Bacon bab, latte. Obviously an expense to the business as well, so cheers property business. Okay, stop messing about and get the bits we need to sort this property out. Show you guys my very first rent-to-rent HMO and my actual very first rent-to-rent property is this orange one on the left. There it is. It's been let out obviously because I've done a great job of refurbing it, but that was my very first rent-to-rent. Let's start loading the car, get everything out the house in there so then I can start the work and then get out of here. So I'm actually on my way back to the tip because I've got more stuff than I anticipated whilst packing it. Like loads of saucepans, so much of it. like 3 cupboards full. So yeah, it's just taking up too much space. So I need to do another tip run. Okay, that is tip runs done with, because now I've got plenty of space to get everything completely out of the house and in here now. So yeah, that's tip runs done. So I actually bought torque Allen keys instead of buying a bit, because stupidly I didn't take one of the screws with me to find out which piece. So bought a whole set. So a really quick tip to get red raw plugs out of the wall, and really quick. Screwdriver, a decent one, and a screw, and you literally just screw it in a little bit, get a claw hammer, and it won't work. So make sure you go in a bit more. This one's a bit of a tough one. Nope. Even more. Hopefully it doesn't damage the wall. There we go. Easy. Easy. So I'm going to do about 50 of these and then go around and fill each hole. I significantly regret not bringing the right torque drivers. Such a simple job, it's taken so long to do. So, you know, this is actually the correct screw head. Look how quick that was, 5 seconds. So, the fact this property is 3 hours away from my home, can't just nip home to get the right tools. So you have to think, you have to plan ahead and make sure you bring everything. Down to simple little things like the right torque drivers to go in the screwdriver, just to make life easier. So I've got another 5 rooms left to do. So I'm just going to fast forward now and get it completely done. Do you know what? After all of that, I got to go back to B&Q anyway, because I forgot to get a tester pot for Venice Blue. So I could have just got the right bit anyway. That is very annoying. And actually I have to go back to B&Q anyway, because room 3 and room 5 only have 1 key, so I have to get some keys cut. So it's kind of worth the trip now. Okay, so we've done all the things before the tip run. Apart from now I can tick that. I've loaded the car after, so all of the stuff from the rooms are in there. I've now assessed the property, and pretty much the only things left to do are I filled the holes in the walls, let the filler dry, and then paint over that. And then we're pretty much ready for the final inspection. Cleaners arrive tomorrow to do the end of tenancy clean. Then it's just chucking all the bits and bobs into my car and then go home. So let's write a new list. Okay, so we've assessed the property. Keys cut. Let's do that. Paint holes, or paint over the holes. And then final clear out, and then we can go home. So let's crack on with it. This is one of the things you have to do as a rent-to-rent company. I've got to drive to B&Q just to get a little bit of paint to touch over the filler holes, you know. But this is one of the benefits of a rent-to-rent company for a landlord, is you are handing this property back in better condition than when you took it on. You know, it's not the traditional landlord-to-tenant arrangement. This is, the landlord has given you the property and trust that you're going to look after it and hand it back in the same, if not better. So that's the service we're providing. This is how you scale your rent-to-rent business. Deliver an amazing service. I will be handing the keys back to the estate agent this week. They're going to obviously go in, inspect it, and as soon as they walk in, they're going to be like, yes, thank you, Kenny. You've looked after this property for us, for the agent. And that's a service you deliver to every single one of your properties. Back in B&Q, getting the key cut. £7, so not too bad. There we go. New key now. That's that done. Let's get some blue paint. I thought it was called Venice blue, not Vents blue. Just double check. There's no doubt, knowing my luck, it is called Venice blue. And now I'll go and buy the Vents. It looks too dark. Okay, I'm going with the Vents, even though I thought it was called Venice. Is there anything else I need? Is there anything else? There's no doubt when I get home, there will be something else. I think we're good. So let's try it. So here we go, just tester pots. This is what you do. So you filled in the holes. These tester pots are about £2. So don't go out and buy whole new tubs. There we go. It's like we never drilled any holes in the wall whatsoever. Ideal, just got a few more rooms to do, crack on with it. Okay, so let's have a bit of a catch up. We've got the keys cut, tick. We've filled the holes, painted the holes. We've done a final clear. Everything is now in this room. So I've just got to get the car and then we can start loading everything in this room back into the car. So I'm gonna tick that. So the last thing before we leave is meter readings. Literally just before you close the door, get the meter readings, done. So let's have a cup of coffee. Then we'll grab the car, then we'll chuck all of this stuff in the car, and then the property is completely empty. I can do a final assessment before we head home. Guys, don't be afraid to ask the landlord to do a bit of work. The flashing on this property, on my rent-to-rent, HMO, was gone. Look at the scaffolding that's gone up. That probably cost £1,000 just to get the scaffolding up. I don't know, but I've not had to pay for that, you know? That's the beauty of rent-to-rent. And not owning a single property. You have the landlord look after the property. You just guarantee rent. That's all you do. Guarantee rent. Then you rent the rooms out for an inflated price because you've made it look incredible. That is the amazing strategy called rent to rent. All right, so don't be afraid to ask landlords to go above and beyond, because at the end of the day, it's their property. They need to look after it anyway. That's it. We're done. We're completely finished. The property's completely empty. And it's now handing over to the cleaners. So let's think about what we've done methodically from start to finish. We arrived, we checked the inventory, we checked it against every single room, baseline condition versus what actual condition is now. And then we wrote a list of exactly what we need to do. So empty the crap, do tip runs, and then what needs repairing, repaired that. Again, checked it against inventory after we could see more clearly because we've got rid of all the rubbish. And then it was just about filling the walls, touching up where we needed to touch up. Another tip run, replacing keys that had been lost. But yeah, that's it. The end of a rent-to-rent HMO. Glad you guys have watched it. Glad I've done it myself. It's nice to get back in the trenches, but now I do have that long drive home, 3 hours, so. Has it been all plain sailing? No, because I forgot the bloody talk bit. That would have made my life so much easier if I just brought that. Simple jobs, just taking screws out of the wall. But anyway, I hope it showcased exactly how the rent-to-rent HMO business works and what the expectations are. Managing a property, stripping it down, and the end of tenancy. So this has been a very steady ship, very passive for me actually. And it's going to be sad to see it go. I'm still weirded out by the concept of the landlord not renewing with me, even though there's no tenant lined up to move in after I've handed the keys back. So it's at the moment going to sit empty. But yeah, if you're looking at starting a rent-to-rent HMO business, I highly recommend it. It enabled me to quit my long-term job, live life on my own terms, and be financially free. So I hope you take inspiration from this video that anybody can do it. Doesn't take massive amount of skill, just some competence and a little bit of a budget to get going. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you on the next one.